we're live! Welcome to TKTV's Tuesday Night Playcast, where we play the games we like with the people we love. Yeah, it's all about making stories while we're doing that. Who do we love tonight? We're here with Delton and Hayley. Brack! And how are you two doing? I have to make sure you're unmuted. Go for it. Let's see if this works.
Doing great, caffeinated and motivated.
Caffeinated and motivated.
Exactly.
All right, which one of you is Delton? Which one of you is Hayley?
I am Delton.
I'd say we haven't decided yet, but I guess I'll be Hayley.
There you go.
Nice work. How do I know you two?
So, Delton listened to Tuesday Night Podcast back in the day and fell in love with the stories, fell in love with the games, and we met you at BGG Con. Delton, is that 4 years ago?
No, we met at Gen Con 2017, Gen Con 50. Yeah.
That's right.
Which is wild.
Yeah, that's when we met in person, to be clear.
Yes.
But my understanding of it is we went ahead and we were doing the podcast and you wanted to be a knave, or a knight rather, so you sent in your own story.
Correct.
Yes! And your story was the first and I believe only story that I did not need to edit at all. The audio quality was amazing. You had your own sound effects and whatnot in there. It was insanely quality. So I appreciate that. So very nicely well done. And from there I said, hey, I kind of need an editor if you're interested. And you're like, yeah, sure. And you helped edit so many episodes of the Tuesday Night Podcast. So thank you so much.
I did. It was definitely something that taught me a lot about just editing, putting things together, getting that done, and definitely helped us with our podcast, getting that going, because now I know how to edit things well and to always export in WAV.
And what's the name of your podcast?
The Malthaus Games podcast.
Malthaus Games. Boom. There, I had it.
Here we are. Look at that.
You all are. Yeah. Malthaus Games, what made you start the podcast? And I believe, you started the podcast after you were knighted. And then Hayley, you became a dame, if I remember correctly.
I did.
And you sent in a story as well.
Yes, Delton also edited that one. So I can't take credit for that.
Yep.
Well done. Well, do you remember what your stories were that you sent in?
Yes,
I still have mine saved. Mine was...
In short, you don't have to tell the whole story again. I don't want you to.
I got Hayley introduced to board games 2012 when we started dating, I think, or 2013 maybe. And she's a big political person, so I bought 1960 Making of the President, and it was the story about how I beat her in that game, which doesn't happen often when we play games. So it was a big deal for me to win. And it was just a story about, that kind of blossomed the board game love, and I felt like that was a big thing between us too, is a hobby that we share now because of it. So
blossomed our love.
And what was your story, Hayley?
So my story was a lot less romantic. It was about the Gen Con bathrooms.
Oh, that's right. So nasty.
It was the first time that I went to stand in line for the bathroom. There's no line for the women, but there was a big line for the men. But then the next year, I talked about how we could see that there was a larger attendance in women, and the hobby was definitely open to women because the lines to the bathroom were getting longer. It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, I wonder what it's going to be like in the after times. If what's going to reset, or if anything, or if it's going to be more inclusive. I'm really curious what will happen once we're no longer in pandemic. Once we follow Texas and Florida's whole rigmarole here of letting people mingle as much as they want. But let's get to the podcast details. So the two of you decided, hey, let's make a podcast. Why? What? And what's unique about your podcast? And one of the reasons I asked that is I saw you drinking something, Delton.
Yes, our podcast is, we love board games, and what do board gamers do? They try to start a podcast. That was, kind of the formula. But listening to Tuesday Night Podcast was a big influence on, I really like this. I think that we could have fun doing it. It would be enjoyable. And so we just kind of dove in, and our big thing was Malthaus. We like beer. So
nice.
every episode, we generally
Is that a Gen Con glass that I see as well?
This is from BGG Con 2019, which was the last convention before everything fell apart that we went to, and the last time we've seen you in person.
That's right. Very nice.
Good times.
So what are you drinking now?
This is a Wee Heavy, which is a Scottish-style ale from Frenzy Brewing Co. It's an old boss of mine. He started his own company. It's really good. 8.3% alcohol by volume. A little undercarbonated is my big negative with this one, but very good tasting beer.
There's some jobs ready for you.
Very nice. Uh-oh,
Yeah.
I'm in Phasmophobia, and I realize it's making noise in the background, so I'm trying to quit it. So I just quit the game off to join you all once we go
That's
live.
fine.
Because I was
Never
wondering if
forget you.
people are going to be like, what's with the crickets in the background? So I was
We're just
like,
that boring.
I better...
That's good.
Hayley, do you think you're the funny one in the duo of husband and wife, Delton and Hayley Brack?
I think we gotta play off each other. We both have our quirks, and especially after doing what we've done about 87 episodes together, Del. Is that
I think
right?
so. Yeah, this weekend's 88.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're still doing it even during the quarantine. Has the podcast had a noticeable change in numbers during quarantine?
When quarantine first hit, like listens tanked. Just people weren't driving to work. They weren't doing commutes. They weren't going to the gym. And I feel like that affected, from what I understand, a lot of podcasts. But for us, the listens dropped significantly. But lately, in the past, Hayley, 4 or 5, maybe 6 months,
Yeah.
they've really shot up and now are starting to go beyond what they were before.
Ooh.
Well, so that's pretty nice that we're finally seeing growth. We're in year 4 now.
Yep. Just started
So-
year 4.
I feel like we're kind of at that point where, the growth is starting and it's starting to be noticeable for us, which is super exciting. I'm very happy about that. People
Very
actually
grateful.
enjoy hearing what we have to say, even if it's just me spilling a ton of beer all over my pants.
And you're still on the every other week schedule?
Yes.
Nice.
Never missed a week.
Never missed a week. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. We've definitely missed, when we were doing the podcast, we've definitely missed a whole bunch of weeks. We're in episode 8 of the live stream here that we're on right now. And we haven't missed an episode yet. So there's 8 down.
Yay!
Yay.
It's awesome.
So you also have a Patreon, correct?
I do. We have Patreon.
When I
thank
listen,
you,
you're
Alan.
not very marketing heavy. You're not like, hey, you should totally back us on Patreon. The things you do is you just mention your backers, or what do you call your patrons? Is it-
I keep calling them backers, but technically they're patrons.
They're patrons, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So anything been going on? Oh, we got a comment from Sir David Waldman. It's Champion Delton and freshly squeezed Hayley, he says.
There you go.
So
Lazy thumb.
David
see if I
Waldman's
can-
with us. Here's a little thing that's going on behind the scenes too.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the first time that I am trying some multi-stream software. So this is the first time that we're streaming not only on YouTube, but also on our Twitch account, which I just made today. So we don't have any followers there. But also Facebook. And on Facebook right now, it's my own personal one. If the software works out, I'm going to subscribe. And then we can use the Tuesday Night Games Facebook account. It was weird how they catch you like that. They're like, no, you can only
Yeah.
have one account and it has to be yours. It can't be one of your associates. But anyway, so if I don't see all of your comments, it may be some error in the software. And that's going to be my excuse. So, yeah, that's beneficial for me. Anyway, podcast, Patreon. You getting any more Patreon patrons during the quarantine or whatnot?
We had a couple people up their level, but that's been it so far. Like I said, it's nothing we push.
Yeah.
I mean, our levels are basically shout outs. We don't have a bunch of merch to throw out. And
Yet.
the one thing that's true, the one thing we've learned when doing the podcast is videos are hard. They take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And every time we do a review video, if it's a 15-minute video, it's probably taken us 10 to 12 hours with writing, reviewing, setting up, actually playing the game, recording it, editing it. And it's just so much work. And with a 40-hour work week and, us being married and our what little social life there is with quarantine and trying to exercise, it's just like there's no time. So I want to get to the point where we're doing Patreon only videos or Patreon specific merchandise. We want to get beer glasses at some point. I just have to figure out prices where I can get that done. But for now, it's just shout outs and basically me saying thank you to my friends and people I've met that support us.
Speaking of quarantine and you two being stuck together with two avid game players who host a podcast, has it been a lot easier to get games to the table and talk about them since you've been locked in a house together?
So we've actually haven't played as much. We have played a lot more online this year. Not necessarily video games. As you will soon see, I am not a video gamer. I do not have the hand-eye coordination to man both the keyboard and the mouse at the same time. But the games we've played a lot of Tabletop Simulator. So we've actually played, I think, fewer games just together, but we've played more games with others this year because of using Tabletop Sim, which has been awesome. I'm really grateful for that program.
Have you done Board Game Arena?
I have done Board Game Arena once, and I think Tabletopia once, but it's mostly been Tabletop Simulator or the digital versions of the games, like the official version.
A couple weeks ago, I had Sarah Shaw on the show, and we did some Board Game Arena, and man, I thought it put the other platforms to shame. I know it's not as open-ended, though, so it's not really a fair comparison because there's a lot of differences between. But when it comes to simplistic user interface, clean, Board Game Arena is my vote. But that's amazing that you're not hitting as many games on your personal table and you're playing more games online. I'm going to tell you a quick story because this is the show that's about stories, right, that you create around the table. I had to see some family members during quarantine because we lost a family member. And so we're talking funeral and whatnot. And I had a cousin Tracy. Doubt she's watching this, but love you, Tracy. And Tracy is one of these individuals that doesn't really filter. She doesn't hold back. So when you meet Tracy, you know Tracy. And the first thing that Tracy said to us after not having seen her in years, not a decade, but at least half a decade, she comes up to myself and my partner and says, "Well, it's quarantine. People are either getting divorced or having babies. Which one is it?" And so she just really went there. So I'm going to take a cue from Tracy and go there with you two. How's the marriage going, you two? I'm sure you're all about to spill all the rotten beans. Yeah, like, thanks for asking.
Right? I feel like it's been going really well. A lot of people have asked us, like, "Oh, what'd you do this weekend?" "Oh, we just spent time together, hung out." And depending on who you ask, they either think that's great or they're like, "Oh, how did it go?" Like, worried about it. But for us, it's been very good. I feel like Hayley has learned to to crochet a little bit, find a way to, like, if I want to watch a movie and she doesn't want to, we can coexist in the same room and enjoy each other's company without partaking in the same activity. And I feel like we've kind of mastered that now through quarantine, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's been really great. So I'm a therapist with a therapist, and I was telling my therapist, so we were snowed in here in Oklahoma about, 3 weeks ago, Del? We had a big snowpocalypse where we had like 14 inches of snow. And I told her, our internet went out and it was just Delton and I in the house together. She goes, "How did that go?" And I was like, "We had a great time." Like Delton, we play music together. Where I play music and he sits and grins and bears it. I'll do a puzzle and do my cross stitch while he watches movies. And of course we do a lot of stuff together too. He got me a longboard for our anniversary on Saturday. Saturday was our 6th wedding anniversary. And he didn't we don't really laugh at each other whenever we fall. I was accidentally
Do you have the gear? Are you smart? Do you have the whole elbow, knee pads, helmet, and all that jazz? I
had a helmet that I looked and the expiration date was 2012, but I haven't fallen yet, so I haven't had to use it. So.
But you don't have the elbows and knee pads. Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't know, and so we're just like rough riding it right now. But
I about bit it, and she caught it on camera, and that video goes nowhere. So
in my defense, like as soon as he started falling, I stopped filming and I went to check on him too. I said, "This is how much I care about you. I might have been filming you, but as soon as you fell, I stopped filming and I went to check on you, and then I laughed."
You could have been Thug Life All-Star famous, but instead you were a good partner and went to his rescue. Oh my goodness.
It was almost one of those Grand Theft Auto, like the wasted screen comes up.
It really was.
It was like, close. It was really close.
His butt like made a V, like his back and his butt made a V, and as he fell.
I felt my age. So
we're a lot closer to our life insurance policies in our youth at this point.
That's true.
We do have a comment here. It is from David Waldman. Going back to our previous conversation, BGA is very good in playing games online. You have to know how to play beforehand, though. That's what he says.
Oh, okay. That is one thing I like about Tabletop Simulator is if you get a version that someone has put in the game or scripted, there's generally like a rule book on the table, and sometimes some of the mechanics are scripted to where you play a card and it automatically will do what it's supposed to do. And that's really nice. And I know that it's just good for learning. If you can have a rule book, show everybody, they can mouse over it. I feel like that's super helpful.
Yeah, I know in Board Game Arena, they have tutorial videos for pretty much all of their games as well.
Cool.
So you learn ahead of time. And some of them do have tutorials, but I don't know about all of them. To be honest, I've only played a few because if you know me, I'm all about the connections you make while you're playing the game. So if I'm playing with some strangers, not as great as if I'm playing with some friends.
Yeah.
David Waldman and Marco agrees that they didn't know that helmets had expiration dates. And I didn't know that either until recently because I got a one wheel and I've been one wheeling all over the place. I think it's one of the best purchases I've ever made in my entire life.
Nice.
It's second to my engagement ring, to my spouse, Crystal, and my puppies and other rescue animals that we've gotten. But man, the one wheel, amazing. And I didn't want to splurge on a helmet. So I figured, I'll just use my mountain biking helmet, which I haven't used in years. Went ahead and put it on, and it basically disintegrated. Not the hard part, but all the padding inside just had dry rot, and it literally just fell apart like dandruff flakes all over me. It was amazing. Yeah. So it's going well. Here's the big question then for couples that may be watching this, for you two. What would it be like in the after times? Are you going to be remiss that you're no longer spending as much time together? Is it going to be bittersweet, or are you kind of looking forward to it, or all the above?
I've kind of gotten used to just staying at home and finding crafty things to do. My house has kind of been my little compound over the last year. And so at first in quarantine, it was difficult making the transition because I'm a very social person. I like to go out and do things and meet people, but I've really enjoyed just chilling at home. And like Delton said, we've found a really good method of coexisting with each other, doing our own thing, but being each other's company. And so I don't really see it changing too much. Maybe every once in a while I'll leave my front yard, but it's not going to be very often.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've always been a homebody. Hayley was always the more social person, and I feel like that this has just reinforced my love for staying home. Part of that is the computers, the games, stuff like that. But I think it'll be good. It's nice. Like right now, when we're itching to go out, we go to the Asian supermarket downtown Oklahoma City and do our shopping for the goods that we don't get everywhere. We go through, fill up the shopping cart, stock up on things, do that maybe once every 2 months. And that kind of touches it. Like, that's enough. I got out. I got to buy some stuff, whatnot. And so I feel like we're going to do pretty well, but it will be nice to go to conventions again, I think. And because seeing people like you and Elijah and Andrew and Jennifer and Ben and all the friends I've made, I think that's the one thing I'm really looking forward to. Yeah,
but I'm going to say I have spent more time with all of my convention friends virtually than ever. Because we have, in fact, here's a quick little quip, a little story. So multiplayer Mondays, we play video games specifically, and then we have basically our FaceTime Fridays, which is when we do traditionally our more board game stuff. And you've all been to both. Hayley, you haven't been to multiplayer Mondays. But before Delton stepped in, and you've only stepped in once or twice, but before Delton stepped in, I felt like I was the hot dog, the big dog, like, kicking butt in Paladins and whatnot. And then Delton's like, oh, okay, I'll play. And then I realized, man, this guy knows his way around a controller.
A mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, everyone was like, whoa, check out that Delton. Oh, my goodness. So
it's the one character I can do okay with on Paladins. It's the only one I play with.
Which character is that?
I think it's Cassie. She's got a hawk and a
the longbow.
Crossbow.
And she does just a lot of damage. Yeah, that's pretty impressive as well. Anyway, it sounds like you two are a lot like me in that I am very fortunate, very privileged that I'm enjoying all the time I get to spend virtually with my friends, and also the amount of time I get to spend with my dogs and my wife at home. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into the classroom when quarantine ends. But a lot of people aren't as, I guess, lucky and fortunate as we are. So for those people, I'm going to ask a darker question, because you two have the allure of getting along very well. I mean, Hayley, you're a therapist, so you have a whole bunch of tools in your toolbox. I'm assuming that you can totally use in a relationship, because I was fortunate that my partner, Crystal, I met her in graduate school for psychology and whatnot. But we can still butt heads. So I think a lot of people can maybe hear some tension sometimes in your podcast, but even that's laughable and usually laugh it off. My question is, are there any moments you're willing to share that were blowout conflicts between the two of you? And if so, was it resolved? And this may not be a fair question, but I want you to just take it from there and let the silence simmer if it needs to.
So this, we might not be believed when we say that we've never like yelled at each other or anything.
Yeah, we're very good at communication. Even if we get angry, we know, okay, let's cool down, come back, talk it out. Especially Hayley, she's very good at that.
I need to go in my cocoon for a little bit. I'll go under my blanket and just say, I know it sounds silly, but like I have my little tortilla blanket, and I was like, I need to go lay in my cocoon for a bit. Mm-hmm. And then whenever I'm done being a little sad sack of burrito, then I'll come back and talk about it. But yeah, we haven't.
You've never had the whole bro, or even internally, like, oh, we're going to talk about this. I need to cool down in my burrito, but when I come back.
I mean, we've had conversations about things, but in terms of like the traditional fighting, like I have coworkers that, you know, they get in fights with their significant others, and it always sounds almost outlandish to me, just because Hayley has always been such a calm communicator. I'm angry right now. This is why I'm angry. I feel like, you know, there's not a resolution for this or that. And then I get angry because it's usually my fault. And then I calm down and I say, you know, I apologize for it, and say, okay, how can we fix it? And then if I mess it up, we just do it again. But we're really good about it. You know, of course, everybody disagrees and sometimes we can get mad, but we do a surprisingly good job at staying pretty level-headed and just kind of communicating through it and trying to do whatever it takes to push past it.
You two are useless to me and our audience. Let me just tell you that. No, it's good to hear, obviously, as your friend, and I'm invested in your marriage and relationship. But I think an important question is, how long have you two been together?
9 years this summer.
9 years. And how long is that? How long you've been married, or how long you've been together?
Together for 9, and then 6 as of Saturday. We got married on Friday the 13th, 6 years ago.
Yep, last Saturday was 6 years.
6 years marriage, 9 years together.
Correct.
Wow. All right. So I guess then I'll have to flip it and say, what is the big secret sauce? You've already alluded to communication, but that's a little too simplistic. So I would say, what would be like your 30-second advice then that people should follow, maybe your example in marriage?
I feel like for me, it is, if somebody says something, your significant other, if Hayley says something to me and I get angry, that means there's something that needs addressed. If for some reason, if I'm angry about it, she's not wrong. She's not accusing me of, you're hiding all my socks in the drawers. Like, it's nothing ridiculous. I know that there's something that, okay, I've done something, it's made her upset, and it's making me angry that I'm being accused, which means I know I need to figure out what it is and fix it. And that's where then the communication starts.
Hayley?
Man, he gave the therapist answer. I was going to give a fun answer. Now I feel like as a therapist, I need
to... be the funny one.
Yeah,
be the
You're
funny
always
one.
the funny one.
I would say find joy in things together. You know, Delton is my best friend, and he always has something new to share with me, or he wants to try a new hobby, like randomly buying. I've never, like, he's mentioned longboards in the past, but I never said I wanted a longboard, and he's bought a longboard, and we have so much fun together. So,
and you didn't take that as like a bowling fan buying a bowling ball, the classic Homer Simpson move?
Oh, we have bowling balls too.
Yeah, we have bowling balls and matching bowling shoes too.
Yeah, got it.
But just take joy in the other person's hobbies, be open to them, and also learn new things together. Like, I wasn't a board gamer, and he got me in the board gaming. You know, I've got him to appreciate some of my music. And he
True.
does a lot of things together with me. He goes outside, we go for walks together. And so just taking joy in each other's hobbies, and kind of like what Delton said, just listen to your emotions whenever you're experiencing anger and experiencing anxiety, because there's a reason behind it. Let those emotions inform you and then communicate them. I know it's like the basic therapist answers, communicate, but
a lot easier said than done. There's a lot of how do you do that? How do you communicate your emotions? So I know these are wide brushstrokes and unrealistic, and maybe in another episode we'll come back and talk about it more. I'm not sure if you're familiar with John Gottman and his methods and whatnot. Oh, look at Hayley nodding. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not. I got no idea.
Yeah, well, you're the product of it because Hayley knows what it is, and it sounds like there's a product of it. I will give you both the compliment then, because I think that's great advice that I wish I had when I first got married. I'm very happily married now. I always thought I was happily married, but our understanding of happiness in marriage has only seemed to have improved. And that improvement has been built off of the back of resolved confrontations, as you said, Delton. So when you're upset, there's something that needs to be talked about. And so I made the mistake that Delton said, is that I thought, oh, this is just marriage. There's always going to be this tension here, and I've learned better since. And also, I didn't follow Hayley's advice, where I thought, okay, I have my marriage relationship, and then I have my friendships, and they're very separate. So I'm going to have to outsource for my fun. And I used to say that to myself out loud sometimes, like, I just got to outsource for my fun and have to do this. But with quarantine especially, but even before that, I made a point that every night, if possible, we spend at least an hour together. We call it family time. Realistically, it's just together time where we do all sorts of things. And since then, we've noticed it's just way easier to do everything else together. Whether it be play board games, role-playing game. Crystal's currently playtesting one of my role-playing games with Marco and Robin and other friends. It's just amazing. So it's great. So thank you so much for providing that advice. Where were you 13 years ago? You sons of beans. That's always interesting too. You ever think of that? Like the good friends that you make since you've been married, and you think like, man, if we got married again, think of the people that would be there. That's such a wonderful idea.
Our wedding was already fun. Well, we eloped the first time in a donut shop.
Yeah, Voodoo Donuts, right?
Voodoo Donut in Denver. Yep.
Yeah,
my brother
and you're both vegan too, so you share that in common as well. But go on, sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Yes.
Oh, you're fine. I was saying we had that, and
not so bad yourself.
We did actually have like a full reception. So we had what we call our fake wedding of 220 guests. I had to stand up. We did, the whole thing, suit and tie. Super nerve-wracking, but it was so great having friends and family together at that moment. Like afterward, I looked back and was like, this was a good idea. And eloping before was a great idea because it took so much stress off. But looking now and thinking, how many friends would we have that we've now met? And like, it would be an even better time for sure. I wouldn't be the only one that had way too many trying to carry the beer outside of the venue. So
I would lose my mind if you had some type of vow renewals at Cabin Con, because Cabin Con is the local con where we have our gaming friends come in. That would be amazing, but horribly selfish for me to say, because since we've spent time together, our friendship just seems to boop, 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 keep leveling up as our other gamer con friends. And we've done a whole bunch together. Cabin Con, one of them. We even are in a film club together, a little movie club that we're doing. And you just picked the most recent movie. What's the movie I'm supposed to be watching by March 25th there, Hayley?
Oh, what's it called, Del? I always forget the name of it.
I can find out.
Well, that was a wasted question.
That was a wasted question.
Whoops.
Whoopsie. Is it Come As You Are?
Come As You Are,
That's
yes.
it. That sounds totally familiar. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, I enjoy spending time with you. And you alluded to doing things and trying new things out together. And Hayley, you're not a video game player, but tonight we're playing Phasmophobia. And I'm not an easy person to scare. How about you all?
I'm a weenie.
You're a weenie?
Yes,
she is.
I hide under my blankie when Delton watches his scary shows. So
got it. What about you, Delton? Are you a weenie?
I'm a weenie when it comes to scary video games. Scary video games and jump scares, I do not care for. But this video game has great atmosphere with the sound design and everything, and I love that. So I feel like it just kind of hits the right stuff. I just don't like sometimes how spooky it is being a video game.
We got some comments. Or Tabletop Tyler Brown says, I miss your faces.
We miss you, Tyler.
David Waldman, also a knight, says, Hayley is very nice, but she did try and kill me during a Werewolf in the Dark at Cabin Con.
I did. I was the worst werewolf.
Man.
And
such a good time, though.
Yeah. That was
one
big
of the
hit
best.
For quarantine. Let me just say that really quick, is because we are publishing Werewolf in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
But it's quarantine, so it's like the worst time to play a game where it requires people touching in the dark.
Yeah.
So, whoops. All right, so we'll be hitting the ground running, hopefully, with that later on. And Tyler Brown says, come as you are. And Marco says, Tyler, I miss you, Tyler. So, look at us. Look at us.
So much love.
That's our audience. Our
We're
audience
doing
is our friends. Maybe some new people will come and watch the show or whatever. But Hayley,
That's okay.
Do you have any good ghost stories before we play a game all about ghosts?
Ooh, I have a story where I was the ghost.
Let's hear it.
So, it was 2 years ago for my birthday. We went and did a murder mystery event where we stayed at a bed and breakfast. Basically, somebody gets murdered at dinner, and then we all have to solve the mystery. Well, I ended up being the one that got murdered. And so they gave me the option of, okay, you got murdered. You know, you can either get a new character, come back as a new character, or you can be the ghost. You cannot talk to anyone all night. Everyone has to pretend not to see you, but you can do anything you want. And so, by God, I was the ghost. I went behind and was holding up teapots and just making them float in the air, hitting on the piano, and nobody could pretend nobody could see me. Everyone had to pretend like they could not see me. I would steal people's hats. People would scream and run from me whenever I would make the windows shudder. It was so much fun. I would die and be a ghost any day, except for in this game, because I'm terrified of this game.
And by this game, you mean Phasmophobia? You're terrified of this game?
Yes, I've seen Delton play it multiple times.
How'd you do in Werewolf in the Dark? Because Werewolf in the Dark, was that scary at all, or was that just too much fun to be scared?
It was so much fun, but I was so sweaty. I was so scared.
Nice. Before we get to the game, we have one segment that I like to do, and that's, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? This is your opportunity to talk about what you're wearing and potentially why you're wearing it. Pants are optional in this show. So are you wearing pants? And what else are you wearing? Who wants to start?
Delton.
I'll start. I am wearing my great Tuesday Night Games t-shirt that I got when I volunteered at Gen Con 2019. And I liked the yellow. I was one of the yellow ones, so
it looks good on you, sir.
It.
That was to pitch That's Not Lemonade, still available for sale on Amazon. Boom! There is my marketing pitch. Pants, belt, anything worth talking about?
I'm still wearing my belt and my jeans, and I'm going to take my shoe off.
Take it off.
So you can see. I recently bought a new pair of Merrells that are
rainbow,
amazingly rainbow.
My goodness. David Waldman says hot. I'm assuming he means you, not the shoe.
Oh, well, I like the shoes, so that's fine.
The shoe's pretty good, too. Did you see Jeff Goldblum's show where first episode he talked about shoe collecting?
I did not.
Oh, no.
All right. I think that's on Apple TV. But anyway. Okay, Hayley, what are you wearing?
So I am wearing my Canadian tuxedo. I have denim on denim with a brown belt.
So that's Canadian tuxedo, denim on denim?
Denim on denim.
I love that.
It's it's good for therapy because I'm wearing a collared shirt. It looks fine. But then I can go work in my garden after that. And I went and weeded out in my garden a little bit this afternoon. And I have my peace sign necklace I've had since I was 14, but still representing. And so just dress like a dirty hippie or George Harrison on the Abbey Road album, The Grave Digger.
Wow. I'm wearing just this cap. This is my Gramps' shirt. I inherited it from my Gramps, so I always remember my Gramps. And I'm wearing a double pleated vest. I'm not really promoting anything right now except maybe fashion in my Gramps. Oh, and I'm also wearing this watch, which I love. This watch is hella cool. It is one that self-winds through motion, which means the only problem is every time you go to put it on after not wearing it, you have to reset it. But I think that's a small price to pay. for the awesomeness of not having a battery or anything like that. Well, that's what are you wearing? Thanks for describing what you're wearing. Shall we play this scary, spooky game?
I'm excited for it. Let's do
All
it.
right. And then when we come back, before we end, I'll make sure you get to promote yourselves. I have a video of you all that I want to show.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh.
It's nothing like that. It's something that you publish. But we're going to switch to this screen. Oh, my goodness. Look at there. There are your Twitter handles next to you. You're this way on my screen, right? And we're going to play some Phasmophobia. And we only played one quick game in the tech setup. So bear with us. Hayley and I are totally new at this. But Delton, the man who knows his way around the controller, knows it well. And you're only going to see it from my point of view. So I have to go ahead and start this thing. So you'll see it from my point of view. But the other thing that's going to be weird is this. The game has a lot of voice interaction. In fact, hopefully you're seeing this right now, and it tells you on the screen that you need to have your headset on and available while you're playing it. And that is because there is voice proximity at play here. Oh, my mouse isn't working. There it is. I'm in. So what's going to happen is Hayley and Delton are going to have to mute themselves in Zoom, because we're using Zoom in the background. But before we do that, Delton, help me out here. I go to join private game, and it's not going to be too private if anyone else is watching this, but what's the code?
968681.
968861?
681.
681. Boom. And there I am. All right.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, your head is on my screen in a weird way.
Same here.
Oh, is OBS messed up?
Oh, no, it's like in the game.
Oh, in the game? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Here.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have you two mute yourselves on Zoom, and we're only going to talk in the game because the ghosts mess with you, and we have proximity talk, and we also have walkie-talkie talk, if that's correct.
Yep.
So go ahead and mute yourselves once we're in the game, and hopefully we won't have any issues whatsoever while playing this. Bear with us. I am ready. We can dive on in. So the goal of this game, if I remember correctly, is we have to identify a ghost, and different ghosts have different behaviors. I'm a noob, so Delton's going to be our person. So I'm going to go ahead and check in via walkie-talkie. Delton, can you hear me? Over.
I can hear you.
Are you doing proximity talk or walkie-talkie?
I did proximity. You're still unmuted in, what's that, Zoom, by the way.
Thank you. I have to mute myself. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to go mute myself in Zoom. This way, it's good for them as well.
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up
muted
before
in Zoom.
investigating. And remember to check the whiteboard
right.
for help. New intel.
All right, so we have to
Okay,
push
now
the
can
talk.
you hear me?
So I can hear you. Hayley, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right, how do we pick up the
It
flashlight?
is working. All right, so here's the thing. In our test game, I brought flashlights and things. Well, I died, which means I lost my flashlights and things. So, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fairly dark. Hayley, you grabbed a flashlight. There is an UV light on that shelf there.
Delton is the one
It's
that looks
pretty
like
small in
Rashida
the middle.
Jones in black, and Hayley's
And then we have
the
some
one in
EMF
white.
readers, one video camera, one normal camera, the journal, and the voice box. It looks like for this run, if we can get a photo of the ghost would be good. If you can witness a ghost event, so if you can see it and take a photo, that's going to be bonus money if we do it correctly. The ghost's name is Ruth Clark.
Ruth!
This ghost also seems to only respond to people who are alone, which is horrifying. You should be able to use its name to anger it. Make sure to refer to the journal to write down evidence that you find.
What was her stupid last name? Clark.
Clark.
Ruth Clark. Okay. Now, for me, it's very cool that this is stereo, so I can hear what side you're coming from, as is important while playing this game because you'll hear the ghost. All right, so Delton, what do you want me to pick up, and how do I pick it up again?
You pick it up with the E key. If you would like, there's another EMF reader here. That wouldn't be a bad thing to have. And then you can hold multiple items. You just change them with the scroll wheel. There is a UV light. If you want to grab it, it's going to be a really dim purple light, but it will be better than no flashlight, which is what I'm going to go with, which is terrifying.
Should I pick up this other camera here? What should I pick up along with my flashlight?
If you'd like to, you can take that camera. That's the one that just takes photos.
I don't think
and then
this
there's
is an
always the
EMF
little
reader.
voice box.
This looks like a stud finder that I found. Beep, 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 and it's going crazy right now. Just kidding. What is this? The EMF reader that I'm holding?
Yes, that little white thing with the green light. If you right-click.
I had a right-click. Okay, cool. Now we're on the walkie-talkies. All right. Roger, Dodger, 343 base. Can you hear me? Over.
Robert Matthew 10-4.
Robin has joined us. She wishes that she had this game on the Oculus. Me too.
I wish I had an Oculus.
Somebody's got a speak coming up.
Hayley, we couldn't hear you because you're using proximity speak.
Oh, I was just saying, Delton has a birthday coming up.
Also, let us know at home if you can hear us okay. Is the game too quiet? Let me know.
Hayley, you have a flash.
I do.
Press the T key on your keyboard.
Oops.
Oh, I forgot. I don't have any strong flashlights. I'm gonna follow you because I'm scared and I don't have a flashlight and it's very dark.
I'd like to follow you both too, but I can't find you all. Wait, I see a light. I'm following that. Where'd it go? I'm trying to find you all.
There's some weird buzzing over here, guys.
There's a locked room here.
Buzzing to my left.
All right, I'm using proximity talk. I don't know
Oh,
what
I
I'm
can see your
looking
little light
at.
on your...
It's so dark. I missed the flashlights.
Let's see if we can... So, I lost my flashlights. So let's see if we can find a light switch or two. Hayley, can you use your flashlight, please, and kind of scan the walls. See if we can get a light.
So far, this game is just try to find out what the hell is going on in the dark. No blips on the EMF reader. Electromagnetic... What's the F stand for?
Electromagnetic frequency, I believe.
Ah, the frequency. Okay. Oh, there's a light on. Oh, no, that's outside. That's the front door.
We turned the light on over here, so let's try to find some more. That'll help us out.
Okay. We can find flashlights, is what you're saying?
No, the light switch is on the wall. If we survive this and make it out, we can get money. And with that money, we can buy new flashlights.
I'm going walkie-talkie. You said that Ruth... What's Ruth's last name? She hates her name being said?
Ruth Clark.
Ruth Clark.
Yes, if you say her name a lot. Yeah, if you say her name a lot, she will get very angry.
What was her name again?
What's this?
Ruth Clark.
Slurping sound?
You broke up there, Delton. I'm so sorry. That's the worst time to break up. What's the name?
It's Ruth Clark.
This picture's creepy. Creepy picture. Nothing on the EMF reader.
Let's try upstairs with the EMF.
Okay, I'm right behind you. Headed up the stairs with you all. I thought you said that what's-her-face wants us to be alone.
She will respond well when you're alone. That's the problem.
I don't wanna.
Now, is there any rules with the dark? Will only show up in the dark?
No, not necessarily. Well, depends on the type of ghost, because the different ghosts are like a Yuri, a demon, a poltergeist, all kinds of different things, and each one performs differently. Like some of them will even shut the breaker off in the house. So you have to go find the breaker, turn it back on, and they'll be able to open doors and close doors and do all that as well.
David Waldman wants me to ask you to say her name a few more times.
I'm okay.
Ruth Clark. Ruth Clark. What if we would just like make up stuff with her name, like Baby Ruth Clark? Ruth Clark Gable.
Oh, this attic is real big and creepy.
I just turned on the radio. I heard you. You're quiet.
Yes, why?
Oh God,
There's a radio up here.
Found a chair, but it's not rocking on its own. Wait, yeah, it is. I just saw a chair rock a little bit.
That radio is horrifying.
So what are the other things of evidence we need to find in order to identify what type of spirit this is?
Since we don't have a thermometer, if you go to your journal, there is EMF level 5, the spirit box, which is the little radio that's still in the van, I think. The UV light that you have, Alan, can find fingerprints, handprints, shoe prints, things like that. There's ghost orbs, which are picked up by video camera, and then ghost writing, which is in the journal that's in the van. You can drop it if we find the room where the ghost is at, and sometimes they will write stuff in that journal.
where's that rocking chair that moves on its own? I can take a picture of that, see if we can catch anything fishy.
It's this way, Hayley. Over here. I love that we walked so slowly.
Apparently I can't walk
Over here. I'm over here. Over.
I cannot work controllers to save my life. Ghost, take me down.
Hayley, who was Superman's alter ego?
Clark Kent? Ruth Clark Kent.
Hayley, what's that delicious candy bar that we don't find around too often anymore? You know those bars that... You know what I'm going for.
The ones that are only found in swimming pools? The Baby Ruth.
It's not what I was going for. Is that someone in front of me? What the... Okay, Jesus. There, Delton.
That was me.
Did you do that on purpose? I thought I was alone.
I love the fact that if you want to laugh and have it heard, you have to hold the walkie-talkie down. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is.
Yeah, that's one note I have about the game. I don't like the push to talk. It'd be nice if proximity was automatically on and then walkie-talkie just added something to it.
That makes sense. That would be pretty. I left to go to the van to get a few things.
Well, this is a horrifyingly dark room that I can't get it. Oh, here's a light switch.
I think... Hey, Hayley. Can you start down the stairs, and there is a light switch down there.
I'm trying to go down the stairs, but I'm really bad at controllers.
That's okay. I set the camera up facing that rocking chair, and I think I might see some ghost orbs, but with the light on, it's hard to tell.
Delton, what the hell does this UV light up? What am I supposed to find with this?
That could be fingerprints, shoe prints. They'll be on a door, sometimes on a mirror, stuff like that. It looks like...
On a mirror? Should be in
I am seeing a few ghost orbs up in that attic area. Yep, I've got ghost orbs. So in our journal, you can put ghost orbs as one of the clues, or one of the evidence found. So that's when you hit J, hit the double arrow to the right, and then you can put evidence found number 1, and to exit journal, hit J again.
Hayley!
Hi.
I'm coming back.
I took a picture of the rocking chair up there that was moving. Is there a way for me to look at those pictures?
Then you go in your journal. If you open your journal up and go back a couple pages, I think, it'll show any pictures that you've taken.
Black light on the bed. Let's see how fun these ghosts were while they were living.
I hear a radio. Did you turn the radio off?
Only at the beginning. I turned it on. Did you turn it off?
I did.
Well, it's definitely back on.
I
Is that
just heard
one of
my
our
heart.
clues?
I heard my heartbeat. I heard my heartbeat in my head. I don't like that. Hayley, get in here. I'm scared.
Did you turn off the, why'd you turn off the light?
To hide from the ghost.
Does that work, or are you just trying to mess with us?
No, like when the ghost starts hunting and all the lights start flashing, try to hide behind stuff or in rooms, and that'll help prevent you from dying.
Can you find me?
But when I was walking, I can see you, Hayley. When I was walking through the hallway, I heard you'll hear like a boom boom in your ear.
Is that just a warning that she's coming close?
Sometimes yes.
What's her name again?
Can I just like crouch like this the whole time?
Her name was Beth Clark.
Bruce Clark. Hey, Bruce Clark.
I think she turned the radio upstairs back on, so she must be upstairs.
All right, I'll go turn that radio off.
I'll come with you. If she's less active with groups, then we should stick together.
The walkie-talkie sound effect sounds like something stuck to something else.
It kind of does. This is so creepy sounding with that radio. I'm gonna use the voice box and see if she'll talk to it.
Okay, I turned the
Ruth
radio
Clark,
off.
are you there? Is anyone here with us?
I think you need to ask her by name.
Ruth Clark, are you here? What do you want from us?
I get my camera out.
Can you hear
This is
us?
Vogue, Ruth Clark. Did you guys leave me upstairs? Oh no, there you are. I thought you left me. I got scared.
Ruth Clark, are you here?
Ruth Clark's a lazy woman, man, because she's not doing anything. I haven't... Oh, this rocking chair. Is it moving? No, is that just... Anyway. It's not even a rocking chair, so it wouldn't be moving. My bad. Never mind.
Ruth Clark, can you show yourself?
Ruth Clark. I think you're dumb, Ruth Clark. Ruth. Ruth, we've got an audience to keep interested. You're making this playcast real boring by hiding. Come on, you dumb.
Ruth Clark.
I'm not bored at all. Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Ruth Clark, eat Hayley. She's in the attic with you.
Yeah, let's leave Hayley in the attic then. Let's go, Delton. Let's go to the
No,
basement.
I can't work controllers.
Hayley, you okay?
Nothing about this is okay. You You abandoned me.
I hope that marriage
Here,
advice
Ruthie,
applies.
Ruthie.
Y'all are about to witness the first yelling match on live air. You left me.
Oh no, she's hunting. Hide. Hayley, shut the door, shut the door.
Shut the door, Hayley! She's hiding! Lights are blinking! I've got 4 bleeps!
Okay, she's done.
Oh, man. We hid well. Nice work. Can she find us if we talk while she's hunting us?
Yes, definitely.
How do I shut the door for future reference?
Click on it with the left click, and when you swing your mouse, it'll swing it open or close depending on the direction.
I believe you're just supposed to ask Ruth. Oh, she's coming back!
Dad?
I'm a ghost.
Are you dead, Delton?
I'm now a ghost. I'm using Zoom to communicate.
Alright, well, there's nothing scary about your voice, unfortunately.
Ooh. I'm a great ghost.
Hey,
How dare
well,
you
at least you're
insult
there
me?
so you can help us out with... Oh, I'm not even sure he can hear me. Can you hear me still?
I can still hear you guys in the game.
Alan, don't leave me.
I can also throw things at you like this bottle.
Well, she got Delton.
Oh, she's hunting.
Going back to my corner. I left you, Hayley.
I wish they could see my screen. I'm gonna try to find her. Oh, there she is coming down the stairs. Ooh, she was in the attic. Spooky. Oh, oh, oh. All right. I'm a ghost. And so is someone else.
Ah! Ah!
Alan, you might want to get out of that room. I'm just
I
gonna say.
died.
Okay.
Man,
Can I pick up your flashlight?
that
All
was
I have is-
terrifying.
Isn't it? The hands come around your face.
I think she
Are those my
almost killed me
footsteps
that
in here?
first time.
Oh, Alan, she's walking around upstairs.
Oh no!
Alan, I'm gonna be a lookout ghost for you.
I
Spiritual
don't know how
advisor.
to get out of here. I just want to go home. I don't like
I
this
can't
game
hear you.
anymore.
You'll have
hear?
to do the hit B. We'll still hear you.
I don't like this game anymore. I want to leave.
How does anybody actually win this game?
It's very difficult. She is back going toward the room that we died in. It's a very hard game to win. Like, we didn't have a thermometer to look for cold spots. The EMF never hit 5, but it hit 4. I did get ghost orbs. Ghost writing might work.
What's ghost writing? How does that work?
In the van, there is a journal, and you can drop it in the area that she's active, which is the attic, and sometimes she'll write in that journal.
I can't find the way out of here. That's a radiator,
Other side.
not the exit.
Yeah, turn around to the right. Go that way. You're going to run into a wall, but a little bit to the left, and straight. Oh, does she lock you in?
Is this the door out? It's locked.
Yeah, she's hunting again. She locks you in the house.
Hey, Delton, are you able to get out of the house?
Yeah, we can. We're ghosts. We don't have doors.
I know.
What measly mortal things. Oh,
come enjoy
dude,
the
she's
sound
right
with
there.
me.
Oh, it's
Oh, God!
What's happening? I can't see. What's a leg?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is?
Why can't I go up the
I
stairs?
can't.
Come on.
Oh,
Turn
she just threw your body. She
What?
just was like, get
I'm
out of here,
dying.
chum.
Ah! I'm a ghost. Loading game.
Aw.
Oh man. Oh. You failed your job and have lost all of your equipment.
Oh, great.
that you brought
$10.
with you.
So
contract pay $10.
You're still muted, Alan.
Wait, you still get paid even though we died?
Yes.
Okay.
Have to
Video
hunt.
games.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I guess our family members got $10 severance package, and that's the justification for it.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, well, that's Phasmophobia. I don't
Horrifying.
know how it was for all of our viewers at home, but let's leave that area. Come back to this
Spooky.
one.
I can
And-
leave so I can get crickets out of my game.
Yeah, I got the crickets too. So does everyone else, but I'm not going to worry about it. Because maybe after we stop streaming, we can play another round or something. We can convince Hayley to do it. Was that scary for you, Hayley?
It was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I gripped my comfort blankie multiple times. But we survived. I mean, not in the game, but survived IRL.
David says Hayley looks like she's going to freak out. Oh, man. Yeah, that was interesting. What did she look like? I never even got to see her. It was so dark without a flashlight.
She had
Saw
like
her
a
fingers.
tattered clothing. I didn't see her face. They normally look kind of like a zombie. My favorite one is a house where it's this really beat up looking dude with like overalls and he's got an axe that's like bloody. And it's weird because they don't walk in their images. They phase and then they're gone and then they pop up and they're closer. So they kind of phase in and out of your vision and it's super creepy. The one that got us before the stream crawled on the ground.
Yeah, I remember that. She was on all fours. This one wasn't
Yeah.
on all fours. So
Yeah.
Robin said that scared the crap out of her, and she said, "You're only going to play once?" Well, unfortunately, we've already been here an hour, so I'm so sorry.
It doesn't feel like an hour. I think that's a
Time
good thing.
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah,
It's scary
time
out of your
flies.
mind.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have to do last-minute plugs for whatever you want, and help remind everyone you can go to Malthaus Games on Twitter at Malthaus Games.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own podcast, and here's the intro music. I love your intro music. I want to know how you chose it, and before I go on, let me play it for everybody. So it's like this.
I don't hear anything.
We don't hear it.
You don't hear anything, but it's playing for us. It's gorgeous.
We need to really do a new one.
Don't do a new one.
A new video. I love the song still, but the video was like the first thing we ever did, and I feel like we could do better now.
My
Yeah.
hands are famous.
That's true.
That's your
True.
hand pushing ground, and Delton, you did the camera work in that
Yep.
opening shot of Malthaus Games, because you
Wow.
also do some YouTube videos as well and post some of your podcasts on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
On YouTube, I just searched Malthaus Games and it came right up.
Yeah, our podcast on YouTube is always audio only. We have some people, it's not very many. We only get 1 to 2 listens on there, but I was like, if that's 1 to 2 people that use that platform, I'm going to keep posting it there. So makes it easy. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. Anything for the good of the order? Anything we missed? I want to make sure that you feel that you were heard. Any last chance plugins for the both of you?
Check out our website. Delton worked really hard on our website.
Yes, we have malthausgames.com now. It's basically just going to have the podcast, but I have a page. I don't have a built-in search function because website stuff is difficult, but it has all the games we've covered, and I have the designers and the artists listed. So if you use Control or Command F for find function, you can type in your designer and see what games we've covered by them, and they're all listed out. So hopefully the website works for you. It's been working for us,
Yes.
but very happy with that.
What about your Twitter handles? One more time. We saw them while we were playing the game, but remind people before we go.
So I'm at Squirrely Geek, SQUIRRELYGEEK.
And I am at Delton Brack, and then you can find us everywhere at Malthaus Games, Malthaus Games.
And I'm Alan Gerning, but no one cares about that. It's fine. We'll be here next week at 8:30. I don't know who the guest will be. I'm going to figure that out, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Robin says, I loved Hayley taking off her headphones when she got scared.
Twice.
Twice just because you heard the noise and it was so scary you took them
It was
out?
too scary.
So
When
what's
that
interesting
ghost
is
like breathes.
I can't watch the stream while I'm playing because I only have one monitor, like some type of person from, you know, the 2000s instead of the 2010s. So I'm going to have to watch this stream again to look at your responses and your reactions. I'm sure mine was probably boring because usually when I get scared, I don't react. I just pee myself, and so no one can really see that. And it's not like immense. It's just a few drops go boop, boop, boop. So I can look like I'm a tough guy. Yeah, I'm not scared. But
Is that a problem since this stream is pants optional, as you stated?
No, it's even better. I just stand on plastic. That's the idea.
Okay, yep, nice.
All right, hey, thanks everyone. Thanks for viewing. If you have any comments, you can always leave them and we can answer them after the fact. In the meantime, we'll have fun and daily, that's your Benifer name, right? But I was gonna say, Delton and Hayley come back anytime, and I'm looking forward to watching that movie in Movie Club.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
it's a fun
having
one.
us, too. We
It
had
was
so
fun
much
today.
fun.
Yeah, I had fun too.
Yeah.
And if you want, we can hang out and maybe play another round. Up to you all. Bye, everybody!